Namaste, it's Jacci. We're back again to do a little bit of yoga practice together. So please take a moment to get yourself set up. If you have a yoga mat, you can put that out on the floor. If you don't have a yoga mat, just find a place where you have enough room to stretch out on the floor that you can stretch your arms up over your head. And then, turn off your devices, close the door of the room that you're in. Give yourself a little space and time for your practice today. And we'll do a little self-care. So we're going to start lying down on our back, as we often do. So take a moment, get yourself settled again, and then come to lie on your back. You may like having a blanket to pad your knees when we come onto hands and knees. Many people find that helpful. So come on down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. And start to be aware of your back. So you can move your knees. Maybe they go side to side. Maybe they make circles. Maybe your knees are together. Maybe your knees are a bit apart. So just noticing the low back, your hips, how that feels, like you're massaging your back. And you can also make some movement with your feet. You can wiggle your toes and circle your ankles. And your hands. You can wiggle your fingers and circle your wrists. And then if you are circling the joints there, go the other way with those wrist and ankle circles. And then just give your hands, your feet a little shake. Just shake off the day, depending on whatever you've done so far on the day that you're doing your practice. And then please bring your feet to the floor. Let your legs rest comfortably. Some people like having the feet a little bit apart and the knees touching. And then wrap your hands around your shoulders and give yourself a hug. Do a little rocking here. Pat yourself on the back. Say, oh, it's so great to be with you. I love you so much. And then switch the way you're crossing your arms. Do another nice hug, little tap on the back, and a little rocking to massage your upper back. And then please bring your arms down by your sides with the palms facing down. And we're going to begin some movement here. We're going to let the movement and the breath coordinate smoothly and slowly. So as you're ready on an in-breath, please lift your arms up over your head and all the way back to the floor behind you. And stretch a little bit, maybe your eyes look back there. And on your exhale, lower your arms down by your sides. And as the hands touch the floor, hug your belly in. You want to get some engagement in your abdomen here. Inhale, lift your arms up over your head. You can watch with your eyes if you like. And then exhale, let your hands float back down. Pull your belly in as the hands touch. And repeat that again, inhaling up. Exhaling down, just getting a sense of coordinating your movement with your breath. And then we'll do a similar movement with the legs. So pick your feet up off of the floor. And just to wake up the joints here, inhale, extend the legs toward the ceiling. So push your heels up, spread your toes. And as you exhale and the knees bend, pull your belly in here. You might feel a little squeeze as the knees draw in toward the belly. And then inhale, push your heels up, spread your toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Now this time, lift only your right leg toward the ceiling and let also your left arm, opposite arm, go over your head. And on the exhale, just bend the knee and lower that arm. That's the exhale. And then inhale, left leg, right arm. And a slow exhale as everything floats back down. We'll do each side one more time. So right leg, left arm. Inhale. Bend the knee, lower the arm, exhale, hug your belly in. And then left leg, right arm, inhale. Let everything come down on the exhale. And this time we're going to lift everything, both legs, both arms on the in-breath. Nice lengthening feeling. On the exhale, bend your knees, lower your arms. We'll repeat that one more time, just lifting your legs any amount, maybe spreading the fingers, spreading the toes as you reach up. Exhale down. Next one, we're going to go up and stay for a couple of breaths. So please inhale, lengthen your arms, lengthen your legs. And on the exhale, bend your elbows and soften your knees. And on the inhale, lengthen back out. So the arms and the legs extend, and then exhale, soften elbows and knees, hug your belly in. And one more. Inhale, lengthen back out. And exhale, everything down to the floor. Feet, you can lower your feet down too and pause for a moment. Just check in. That, by the way, is a really nice movement to kind of warm up the body. If you're interested in doing seated meditation, that movement where we lift the arms and the legs up is a really nice way to prepare the body for seated meditation. So maybe at the end of your practice today you do a little 5-minute meditation. So let's roll to the side and push up, and then you can come to hands and knees. And again, for this part, if you'd like to pad your knees, you can grab some padding, blanket, towel, whatever you have, so that you make your body comfortable here. Coming to all fours, again, another movement we're going to coordinate with our breathing. So starting in tabletop position, lining up your joints. Please inhale and lift your chest and eyes. And on your exhale, pull your belly in and fold back to child's pose, letting your elbows touch, your hips and head bow, and then inhale back up to tabletop, lift your chest and eyes. Then do that again, exhale back to child's pose. So here we're hugging in the belly as we fold back. And then inhale, floating back up. And again, exhaling back. Please inhale up and pause. Take your right leg back behind you and make some circles with that ankle. And then go ahead and put your right foot down on the floor and push your heel back so you feel some lengthening in the back of that leg. And then inhale, let your left hand go forward. So looking down at the mat on the exhale, hold and pull your belly in. And when you get to the inhale, lengthen that left arm and lift your right foot off the floor. And on the exhale, first option is to touch your toes back down to the floor. Your right toes touch down. And then inhale, as you pick the foot back up, lift your chest, lengthen your arm, looking down at the mat. Second option as you hold on the exhale is to just stay there. Keep your foot lifted. And on the inhale, reach a little more. Again, exhale, either touch your toes down or hold. Inhale, lengthen a little more. And this exhale, let's put down the hand and lower the knee. Fold back to child's pose. See if you notice any difference in the two hips here. And then inhale to tabletop, and we'll do the same with the left leg. So to start by taking your left leg back, circle that ankle, and then touch the toes down to the floor and push your heel back. On your in-breath, pick up your right hand and lengthen it forward, eyes on the mat. On the exhale, just hold in place and pull your belly in. And then as you inhale, lengthen the right arm and let your left foot lift up just a little. Again, first option on the exhale is to hold and touch your toes back down, pull your belly in. And then inhale as you lengthen, lift that foot back up. Hold on the exhale or feel free to touch the toes down again. And then inhale, lengthen, maybe pick that foot back up. One more. Exhale in place, touch your toes down if you like. Inhale, lengthen, lift the foot if you touched it down. And then exhale, lower your hand, lower your knee. Fold back to child's pose. And then inhale to tabletop. So once more, exhale back to child's pose and move your hands a little further forward and slightly wider if you have a little room. And on the inhale, come up, and we're going to shift the hips forward. This is upward facing dog. So the elbows bend slightly, the chest lifts. And then on the exhale, you can draw all the way back to child's pose, pulling in your belly as you go back. So a couple more like that. Inhale forward. This is a variation of the pose where we keep the knees on the floor. You can watch your pets exhale. See how many times a day they do these movements. One more, inhaling forward, finding some range of movement that feels nice for your hips, for your back. Lift your chest, and let the exhale bring you back. And then come up to all fours and put your elbows down on the floor. And you can let your hips sway side to side. This is another dog pose. We call this puppy pose. So if you like, you can keep your elbows on the floor, or maybe stretch your hands further forward and let your forehead lower toward the floor. And you can still wag your tail. And then from wherever you are, just push up, come up on to stand on your knees. Again, you may want to pad your knees a little bit more. Feel free to add some padding. And then, like we did lying on our back, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up over the head, lift the chest, lift the eyes. And exhale, bring your arms down, belly in. And do that again. Inhale, your arms float up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then a variation of that movement where on the exhale we're going to bow forward almost like child's pose. So for this variation, please inhale your arms out to the side and up. Now on the exhale, bring your hands, sweep them down, bring them behind your back. Fold your hips back like child's pose and let your upper body bow down. You might go just a little, or you might touch your forehead to the floor. And then inhale all the way back up, sweeping the arms out to the side and up. Let's try that 2 more. Belly in as you exhale down. Big lift of the chest as you rise back up. Arms sweep up over your head. One more time. Exhale down. Arms sweep up on the inhale. And then please exhale your arms down by your sides. Do some little shoulder rolls here. And then we're going to stand up on our feet. So on our way up, if you put your hands back down on the floor, we'll just come take a few breaths in downward facing dog. So ground down through your hands, spread your fingers, and then tuck the toes and push up to dog pose. You may start here with a little bend in your knees, a little pedaling out of the legs. See what you feel. You might bend both knees and really lengthen the spine, just like we did in our puppy pose. And then just gently make your way up to standing. Move that padding to the side if you had something on your mat. And then come to stand in the mountain pose. So in this pose, we'll have the feet hip-width apart. The chest lifts, the shoulders back. You might even roll your palms open. And take just a breath or two to get a sense of how it feels to be on your feet, just compared to how it was to be lying down on your back. And then we're going to do the chair pose. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my back. We're going to start with our hands on the sides of the body. Take a nice inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, pull your belly in as you bend the knees and sink down with the hips. The upper body leans forward, and you can just slide your hands down the sides of your legs. And then push through your feet and slowly rise back up on the in-breath. We'll do that a couple more. Exhale down, depending on how your body feels. You can bend your knees less or more. Inhale back up. And again, exhale down. Just waking up these big joints, knees, hips. Inhale back up. And then we're going to do a series where we'll hold 1 breath and then 2 and then 3 breaths while we stay down in the pose. So please inhale in standing. Exhale, sinking down into your chair. And while you hold on the inhale, lift your arms up like cactus arms. So bend your elbows, lift your hands, open your chest. And while you hold on the exhale, bring your hands back down. You might even bend the knees a little more. And then inhale back up to standing. All right, so we'll do 2 breaths. This time we'll do something a little different with the arms. So exhale down into your chair. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your arms, cactus arms. And on the exhale, draw your elbows down a little bit. And while you hold on the inhale, see if you can lengthen your arms up, lift your eyes. Exhale, elbows bend, and you can lower them all the way down. And then inhale up to standing. Okay, and then we'll hold 3 breaths, so we'll do that twice with our arms. So please exhale down into the chair. Inhale, cactus arms, lift up. Exhale, elbows bend, tuck them down. Inhale, arms lift, eyes lift. Again, exhale. Maybe you sink down a little bit here. Inhale, lift. Do that one more time. Exhale. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, lower your hands down. Inhale, up to standing. You might enjoy giving your legs a little shake and wake them up a little bit. And then thinking about the hips here, so we just did some movement. That's the forward fold. You bend your knees and fold forward. And we're going to do a little back bend in standing. So please inhale your arms either out to the side or forward, whatever's nice for you, and lift your chest, lift your eyes, like what we did on our knees. And exhale down. Try to enjoy that little back bend. And do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. And now we're going to do a movement in the Warrior One pose. So for this pose, the feet will still stay hip width apart. So you think about where your hip bones are. You want the heels pretty much lined up with your hip bones. So please step your right foot comfortably forward and your left foot back. So the left foot is over to the left a little bit. And then on the inhale, bend your front knee. The right knee is going to try to stack up over the heel. So you can adjust the distance between your feet if you like. And on the exhale, as the front leg extends, you can touch your belly, get that sense of hugging in the belly. And one more test bend. You can see how wide you want to have your feet again. Exhale, touch. So we're going to do some movement here with our arms. So please bend your knee and lift both arms up, and a little back bend like we just did in standing. Exhale, lower the arms, come out of the pose. Now, if that back bend doesn't feel so great for your back, as you bend the knee and lift the arms, you can lean forward ever so slightly with your chest, and it'll take some of that curve out of your back. Exhale. But if you like it, that's fine. We'll do one more repetition. So inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to do a few more repetitions and add a little balance to our pose. So this time as you bend the knee and lift your arms up, lift your back heel, your left heel up off the floor. And then exhale, lowering the arms, coming out of the pose. So let's do that again. Bend the knee, lift your back heel up. You may find looking forward or down at the floor is helpful for balance. Exhale. One more like that. Inhale, bend the knee, lift your arms. Exhale down. Put the heel down. Now, one more option, and you're welcome to stay with that variation where you just lift your heel. On this option, I'm going to actually pick up my back foot and step it forward. So inhale, you bend the knee, step up onto your front foot, lift your back knee and your arms up over your head. And on your exhale, you see if you can come all the way back down into the pose. And if you just want to lift that back heel, that's okay. So again, walking up onto the front leg, lifting your back foot, trying to find your balance here. Let the exhale bring you all the way back down. And then we'll try to stay one breath in whatever you're doing. So if you're just lifting the heel, that's fine. So inhale, either lift your heel or come up with your arms and pick your back foot up. Hold on the exhale. Hold on your inhale, maybe a little more lift. And then exhale. Just put your feet down. If you're back in the pose, you can just step your feet together. Give them a little jiggle and shake. And we'll swing a little bit here. So we'll let the feet come about shoulder width apart. You can let your arms swing. Turn your head. It's a nice soothing movement after that pose. And then we're going to come back to mountain pose for just a moment. And again, take a few breaths to notice your body. After we did that pose on one side, you might even close your eyes. So just a pause to notice. And then let your eyes open if you had them closed, and we'll do the sequence on the other side. So coming into the Warrior One stance, feet hip width apart, step your left foot comfortably forward and your right foot back. You can see how wide you want to have your feet here. So again, a test bend, we want to bend the front knee so it's right over the heel. On the exhale, the leg extends and the belly hugs in. You're welcome to touch your belly here. So take one more test bend. See how that distance feels. Exhale, you might want you to feel steady on your feet, but maybe slightly challenged. Okay, here we go into our movement. So inhale, bend the knee, lift your arms up. Lift your eyes, maybe. Exhale as the arms lower, the front leg extends, the belly draws in. You can lower your eyes. Again, inhaling into the pose. Again, feel free to lean forward a little bit if that back bend is a little awkward for you. Exhale. So just one more like that. You might just enjoy your feet on the floor, nice and steady before we play with our balance. Exhale. So this one will lift the back heel, so we'll do 3 repetitions like that. So bend the knee, front knee lifts, and the back heel comes up off the floor. So you're like in a lunge. And exhale, come out of the pose, lower your heel, lower your arms. Good. Again, inhale. So looking at the floor, maybe helpful for your balance. Maybe try lifting your eyes here. Exhale. Okay, one more like that. Inhale. Try to go slow. Exhale. So again, you're welcome to stay with that variation, or if you want to try to hop up, on the next inhale, you can step up onto your front foot, lift your knee and your arms up. And on your exhale, see how smoothly you can come back down. So again, like that, inhale, either step forward with your foot, or you can just come up onto the toes of the back foot, and then coming out of the pose on your exhale. Okay, we're going to try to hold for one breath the next time. So inhale, stepping up onto that front foot. Hold in place on your exhale. Stay on your inhale. And then on your exhale, just step your feet together from wherever you are. Give that left foot a little shake, right foot a little shake. Jiggle everything. You can even bounce a little bit. This is a really helpful tool for moving fluid around the body. And then we're going to do, well, let's take a few breaths in mountain pose. Again, that pause. So what do you notice now after you did the pose on both sides? How's your breath? And then we're going to let your eyes open. We're going to step the feet out wide and do a forward fold. We're going to it'll be like downward dog with our legs wide. So feet pretty wide, maybe one leg's distance apart, whatever's a little bit challenging for you. So take an in-breath, lift your chest. On the exhale, bend your knees and bow down. We're going to hold the squat for a moment, sort of like a sumo wrestler, and we're going to woggle a little bit in our hips. See how that distance feels, how your hips feel here. And then let your knees bend more, let your hands find the floor, and see if you can keep your heels grounded down. Keep your hips back over your heels, and then let your hands walk forward. A little bend in the knees here. Think about your spine getting long, so the hips are drawing back as the fingers come forward. And then you might just one at a time extend the legs, or kind of pedal the legs gently. Nice deep breath. Please walk your hands back up underneath your shoulders. On the exhale, bend your knees again and walk your hands up to your legs so we're in that little squat, and rise up to standing. And we're going to walk the feet in just a little bit closer, and we're going to do a different variation of a squat. So for this one, we're going to turn the toes out toward the corners of your mat, and we'll be bending the knees here. So you want, the knees over your heels and the knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. So you want to adjust your feet. So if your feet are too close, that's not great for your knees. If your feet are too wide, that falling in, not too good for your knees. So try to find that spot where your knees are right over your heels, okay? So you can feel a little work in your legs here. And then on the inhale, see if you can just stand up and bring your arms up like cactus. So this is a goddess pose. On the exhale, the knees bend, draw your belly in. See if you can stay here on the inhale and let your arms float up. Stay on the exhale, bend your elbows, pull your belly in, and then inhale back up to standing. Okay, we're going to do that 2 breaths this time. So exhale down into your squat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, elbows bend, belly in. One more. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. I'm going to try to do it for 3 breaths. So bend your knees less if it's a little challenging. So exhale down. Stay on the in-breath. Lift your arms and your eyes. Exhale, belly in. Inhale. Exhale. Smiling is helpful. One more. Inhale. One more. Exhale. And then inhale up to standing. And you can bring your hands down, walk your feet back in, give them a little shake, a little jiggle, a little bounce. You can swing one more time. So you may feel your heart rate went up. Really good to have strong legs. Okay, and then we're going to come back down onto the floor. So make your way to lie down on the floor. One more time for this next part. Well, once you come down, draw your knees into your chest again and give yourself a little hug. You might massage your back again. Some ankle circles. So we did some things on our toes and standing on one foot so the ankles might like a little break. You could even shake them a little bit. Please let your feet come down to the floor and your feet wide so the feet are apart. We're going to do a little windshield wiper twist. So on the exhale, let both knees fall to one side and your head go the opposite way. And on the inhale, let your knees rise up and your head come to the center. You might like stretching your arms out to the side. Exhale to the side. And inhale back up. So depending on your back and your hips, your movement may be quite small. If it bothers your hips, you can let your hips stay on the floor and stay with a smaller movement. Inhale up. Exhale to the side. We'll do one more to each side, and you might even close your eyes. Inhale. Let these next couple of ones be just a little slower breath. So slow exhale all the way over, and maybe a pause at the end of the exhale. Slow inhale to come back to the center. Slow exhale to the other side. A little pause at the end of the exhale. Nice long exhale. Inhale, center, and pause. You can bring your knees back up into your chest. Again, a little rocking for your back. One more simple little movement. This is a little movement to stretch the low back and to just help us to coordinate the breath. Again, we're going to do 3 repetitions and let the exhales be longer. So you put your hands on your kneecaps so your fingers face the toes, and on the inhale, just lengthen your arms so your knees rock away and you can take a big breath. And on the exhale, the elbows bend and the knees draw in toward the chest, and feeling that stretch in your back and the pressure on your belly. Hold the end of the exhale. And then inhale, let your arms rock away. 2 more. Slow exhale. Pause at the end of the exhale. Inhale, let your knees rock away. And 1 more. Exhale. Pause at the end of the exhale for any amount. And just your inhale happens naturally. Your knees can rock away, and you can put your feet down on the floor. So let your legs rest comfortably. You might have the feet apart and the knees touching. Again, many people like that, and you can just rest your hands on your belly. So just scan your body for a moment. Let your neck, your shoulders, your hips settle. Just beginning to let go of the effort to control your breath, just natural, normal breath. And then noticing how you want to support your body for your relaxation. So you may prefer to just keep your knees bent and lie this way. You might like stretching your legs out flat. For some people that's comfortable. For many people it's not, so feel free to bend your knees. Another option is to put support under your knees, like your blanket or a pillow, or even resting your legs up on a chair with the knees bent. That can be really helpful too. And then you may want to keep your hands on your belly. You may like having your hands by your sides. Soften or close your eyes. Feeling the support of the floor beneath you. We'll take a couple of breaths. On the exhale, we're going to say ah. So wherever you are in your breath cycle, please inhale. Say ah. Feel that releasing, softening breath. 1 more. So just giving yourself permission to rest your body for the next 5-10 minutes. I'll say my closing prayer. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. And may we live with ease. May we live in peace. So I encourage you to stay here for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Give yourself permission to let your body rest. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.